Hello everyone out there in the global and digital world. My name is Nikola and I would like to thank Integral Stage for having me to share my views on non-duality. So non-duality is an extremely important concept and phenomenon in spirituality and in life. And I would like to approach it from a philosophical and spiritual or experiential standpoint. Some of you may know me, some of you not. I'm a philosopher, but I'm also a spiritual teacher and non-dual teacher. So I would like to approach non-duality for those two perspectives, philosophical and spiritual. So from a spiritual standpoint, the first thing to do about non-duality is to understand the very word of it. So the word non-duality is derived from the Sanskrit word Advaita, which actually means not two. And this not two as a concept carries a lot within it. The view behind it is that consciousness as a container of everything and the forms that are arising, shining and dissolving within it are actually not two. So consciousness and forms and phenomena are not two. But please pay attention, I didn't say consciousness and phenomena are the same, or I didn't say consciousness and phenomena are one. I simply said consciousness and phenomena are not two. So if I say consciousness is one with everything that is, it's a kind of flat monism. If I say consciousness is the same as phenomena, there is no room for differences. But if I say consciousness and phenomena or forms are not two, there is a room for sameness, but there is a room for multiplicity and difference. And that's what's unique about the concept of non-duality. So it allows this vividness of forms, but also enables this realization of the sameness or the source or awareness of everything. So that was the conceptual part, and I have to say, when we talk about non-duality, conceptual part is not enough. Non-duality is a spiritual or experiential phenomenon. In other words, in order to know it, you have to be it. Or in order to know that with capital T, you have to be that. So realization, spiritual realization, experiential realization is the key when it comes to non-duality. And now mind can tell you it's not possible, or how I'm going to do it, or it's reserved only for enlightened ones or whatever. But that's all mind jabbering around the concept of non-duality. My experience was that experiencing non-duality is not difficult, is not easy, it's just tricky. What's tricky about it is that as human beings, we are wired to seek, to strive, to improve, to change our experience, to change our position in the world. And non-duality requires from us to actually stop that mode of being and to be completely fine with what is. And as humans, that's a little bit hard for us to do. I myself needed the help of a teacher to accomplish something like that. So to be in here and now, we just need to stop seeking. When we stop seeking, we are identifying with the deeper dimension of our being and reality. We are that Atman, that is Brahman from Hindu tradition. So that's the whole trick with non-duality. And as I said, for that, I did need the help of a teacher to stop seeking as a major mode of my being. There are many words for non-duality in various spiritual traditions. I personally call it's a recognition or realization of our true self. I like this notion of true self because it has an intimate feel, but it's also self with capital S, which means that it includes everything. It transcends everything and includes everything simultaneously. Another word for non-duality is awakening. what I love about it, because it refers to the awakening from the dream state of separation, suffering, and samsara. It's a very good concept. Another way to describe non-duality is enlightenment, another massive concept in spiritual tradition. Enlightenment refers to the light of being or the light of awareness as a container of everything, light of Brahman, if you wish. So very good concept. Another great concept is the one of liberation. So it's a liberation from suffering, and it's a liberation from samsara. So those are all massive words, massive concepts, and massive realizations. So choose the word that works for you. For me, enlightenment worked and non-duality really worked. This concept of non-two, conceptually and experientially, was really good. So far we've been talking about non-duality, and I can continue talking, but I would like to do something else in this short video. So non-dual consciousness is about realization of it by being it, rather than talking about it. So I invite you for a very short and effective practice and injunction in which we are going to glimpse, at least, if not abide that, non-dual consciousness. And it goes like this. It's very simple. So I suggest you close your eyes, or you can keep your eyes open, and that's fine. So just follow gently my instruction. So I invite you to allow this moment as it is. So just allow this moment as it is, with eyes open or with eyes closed. And that means allow body as it is, allow mind as it is, and allow the world as it is, meaning the situation you are in as it is. So allow body as it is, allow both comfort and discomfort. Don't get wrapped up into pain and pleasure and stuff like that, just for the purposes of this exercise. Allow mind as it is. So if mind is active, that's okay. If mind is calm, that's okay. So just allow what's happening with your mind. And allow the world as it is, meaning the situation you are in. So just allow this moment fully. Don't try to be somewhere else. Don't desire for something else. Don't struggle with what is internally, externally, individually or collectively. So just be fine what it is for a moment. And just notice what's happening with your being and reality. And from this non-dual place, just embrace body, mind, and the world. And that concludes our little exercise and injunction. Thanks for practicing with me. So from now on, just try to stay at this place and to live from that place. If you need to come back, just do the injunction again and again. For the vast majority of people, awakening to this non-dual consciousness is a gradual process, meaning requires a lot of coming back to it. But as you hopefully experience, it's really not that difficult. It's just a little bit tricky and requires some practice or maybe help of a teacher and a sangha. What you probably notice by doing non-duality experientially, the key with non-duality experientially is to dissolve the sense of individual self, to transcend the sense of I, me, mine, or to transcend the ego. Without that, non-duality just doesn't happen. So instead of identifying with the separate self, you become the space in which everything is arising, shining, and dissolving, including your separate self. In conclusion, I would like to say that non-duality is an extremely important topic for present day, for what's happening in the world. And I venture to say that non-duality is becoming a necessity in the present day world. It's a personal necessity because that's the only placeless place that is free from suffering and duality and separation. It's also a cultural necessity because I think non-duality should be a cultural norm in families, schools, and organizations, because it's extremely important for us to rest, at least in that space during these turbulent times. It's a spiritual necessity, clearly, because it's the ultimate core of all spiritual traditions. But it's also an evolutionary necessity, in a sense that the next stages of further human evolution are going to include more and more those non-dual philosophical and spiritual perspectives. So I guess that's all for this short video. Thanks for your attention. Thank you, Integral Stage, again for having me, and I hope this helps. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.